Hey folks. Now it's been great planting all these wonderful seedlings, but it's come to a stage now where I physically can't eat everything. Now the aim was initially to grow a little veggie garden and have some fun here, but it's just constantly growing. I'm constantly adding on, and I'm going to be adding more and more on. Yeah, I've lost my mind. It's a little farm that I'm enjoying, but the fact is that I'm actually setting up a little farm gate, and I'm here to announce that we're pretty close to it. So by the time spring kicks in or summer kicks in with our summer crop, we're going to have an abundance of vegetables and soon to come fruit as well. So I'm holding a little box here, and I'm going to put a little hamper together to see if you like it. Now, I'm actually addressing this to our locals in the Golden Plains Shire. So if you're living in Queensland or any other parts of Victoria, and obviously with the lockdown situation, you can't travel, my apologies on that, but down where we are here, we can get around. So for anybody who's watching this little segment, rest assured that you can send us a little email. It's called the Click and Collect, I believe. Well, it's more like an email and collect, sales@vasilisgarden.com. So what are you going to get? So I'm going to make a little hamper box or a green box. So we'll get one of these lettuce here. Let's have a bit of fun and see what we can put in it. This will be the first little, oh, look at this lettuce. Have a look at that. Now, you've all seen this stuff grow naturally, and all I've used is my liquid fertilizers and black grit and compost, and obviously our worm castings. So one big lettuce, that's taken up half a box. Have a look at that beauty, eh? Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, delicious. These things are monsters. Oh, wow. Compare this to the supermarket. Look at the size of that. You ain't going to get that in the supermarket, folks. That's going to take up half a box here on its own. Let's get this in here somewhere. There we are. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Broccoli heads unready. We'll cut a couple of bunches of spring onions. Now, I just cut these to the base like that. We'll do a couple of bunches like this, because these come up again and we get a second harvest out of them. These ones here, you can see already been cut once. See, that's the second growth on them. So you can get 2 or 3 harvests out of your veggies. Now, yeah, I'm cutting my leafy greens as well, because it's predominantly leafy greens, our winter crop. But if you don't cut them to the ground, you can just pick the leaves on the outside and they'll keep coming up again. Got some kale leaves here too. That's a huge plant. That on its own is going to take up a whole box. Or is there more than one here? Anyway, let's get to the bottom of it. These are endives. You can eat these fresh. Wow, that's huge. Have a look at this. This is to die for. You know, honestly, even that box there, unless there's about 6 or 7 you in that family, you ain't going to go through that in a couple of days or a week. But the reality is, you know what? It's so fresh, it'll keep for a week, like the day I've just harvested today. We'll chuck one of these in there too. It's not even broccoli. It's reverted back to its original form, rapa. Now these are like broccoli heads, but they're a little bit bitter, folks. You can eat them fresh like that. Delicious. Put them in a little bit of a saute in a pan with a bit of oil, garlic, squeeze a lemon on them if you like, and a pinch of salt. But even eating them raw is the best way. Chuck a couple of heads like this in the box too. So this is what you get. This is our first little green hamper of green produce coming out of our garden, and soon to be tomatoes and cucumbers and capsicums and celery and more kale and fennel. The list will go on, and once the 400 or 500 fruit trees start to produce, folks, well, our farm gate will be open to the public, but only by appointment. It may not be everything that I've just shown you today in the box. It will vary from day to day. Basically, what's available to harvest on the day. If you want to find out, send us an email at sales@vasilisgarden.com, and the team will give you the details on how you can come down and collect your fresh produce, all naturally grown, as you see every morning from me, Vasili. And maybe you can pick up some EcoBoost and Liquid Gold so you can feed your garden too and have it flourishing just like this. From me, Vasili, Maresi, sales@vasilisgarden.com.